Toronto-Danforth.
Mr. Speaker, in his report, the Chief Electoral Officer is calling for more investigation powers and stiffer penalties and tools to prevent fraud. The same thing the NDP was calling for in its motion, which was adopted more than a year ago in the bill that I tabled because they didn't comply with their timelines. When will the government start taking electoral fraud seriously and table legislation to strengthen the powers of Elections Canada? The Honourable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, as I've previously indicated, the government is looking at reforms to its elections laws. We will consider these suggestions put forward by the Chief Electoral Officer, and that comprehensive proposal will be put forward in due course.
The Honourable Member for Toronto-Danforth.
Will be put forward in due course, Mr. Speaker. Clearly this government has no interest in cracking down on electoral fraud, and no interest in explaining their involvement in fraudulent election calls. They failed to act on giving more powers to Elections Canada. This minister has a responsibility to Canadians. The Commissioner is calling for stiffer penalties for election fraud. So, Mr. Speaker, my question is, why is the Conservative government suddenly so soft on crime when the suspects are their own campaigners?
The Honourable Minister for Democratic Reform.
Talking about electoral fraud, Mr. Speaker, it was the NDP that accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal donations from big union bosses. Mr. Speaker, we have committed to looking at our elections laws, and that comprehensive proposal will be put forward in due course.